Well, the names that got claimed weren't the ones we'd expected. Surprise, surprise. Eric Comrie was claimed by the Arizona Coyotes. Isn't Ranta ready to go? Like, you've got Ranta, you've got Kemper. I'm not sure how Comrie works. Because here's the thing. So, if people are wondering about waivers, let's say that Arizona now goes, okay, we're going to put him in the American League. They'd have to waive him, and Winnipeg has first dibs. And if Winnipeg gets him, they don't have to put him on waivers again. They can just be like, thanks, and they can put him right in the minors. So, anyways, that one's weird to me. And then Winnipeg did something smart. So while they were losing their number 3 goaltender, they picked up Carl Dahlstrom from the Chicago Blackhawks, a defenseman. They needed a defenseman, and whether he slots into the top 6 or he's a number 7, their defense definitely needs him. So I think it was a smart move. Dahlstrom's only 24, so I like that move a lot. And everybody else cleared, including Josh Hosang. We had people claiming somebody's going to grab Hosang. No. Somebody's going to grab Berchi. Not with that concussion history. He played 26 games last year and he makes $3.3 million. Benning knew he was going to clear. There was no interest in him for a trade. Now that he's cleared waivers and he's gone to the minors, now you can trade him. He doesn't have to clear waivers again. Goldobin clears. Casey DeSmith cleared, which is really surprising to me. So GMs around the league must look at Casey DeSmith and what he did last year for Pittsburgh and go, we still think he's a minor league goaltender, which may very well be the case. That may be how the NHL sees him, but that one really surprises me. So everybody else that people were, and I know Canuck fans yesterday were all up in arms. No, Benning's the worst GM in the history of the NHL, and I'm going to set my house on fire and blame it on Jim. You can put the fire out because they all cleared. Dear Lord. It's so weird to watch as the internet just melts down over something, and I'm thinking, who's going to want that $3.3 million? Well, he can score 20 goals. If you carry the 4 and you put all these seasons together and you average everything out, yeah, no. Teams want a player who's going to play. A player who doesn't. And here's the thing, too. Like, you can make the argument that any player is one hit away from their career being over, because it's true. But in the case of Berchi, it doesn't have to be a hard hit. It could be something innocuous, something you don't even think of at the time. And that's why I can understand teams not picking him up on waivers. And I can understand Berchi playing a little bit tentative out there. I don't blame him. I really don't. There's a point where you have to look at your health and put that above hockey. So, all right. Greg Patterson is out for 6 weeks after surgery to repair a bilateral core muscle. That just sounds painful, doesn't it? I didn't know we had maybe I don't have a bilateral core muscle. Maybe that's one of those things that hockey players and athletes have. I'm not an athlete, so I don't have a bilateral core muscle. That's my theory, anyways. Lee Stempniak has announced his retirement. Yes. There needs to be a Lee Stempniak video. And I've been waiting. I wanted to do a Lee Stempniak video not long ago, and I thought, no, he's getting near the end, and you can talk about his career after it's done. 911 games played, 203 goals, 266 assists, 469 points. The only regret I have is he didn't play for 14 teams. It would be great if he was, able to pass Mike Sillinger, but he didn't. Mike Sillinger, your record is as safe as it's going to get. I don't think anybody plays as many games as Mike Sillinger. And yeah, I've already done a Mike Sillinger video. Braden Point's been cleared for contact. I'm starting to think that we were lied to by Tampa management, which wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Or Braden Point is ahead of the curve. Either way, he's cleared for contact. He's not going to play in the opener, but they're saying, yeah, no, we're going to play it day by day, So I don't think he's coming back at the end of October. I got a funny feeling he's about a week away. He would not be cleared for contact, given his importance with the team, unless they felt he was good. So that's a good sign that the hip's in good shape, and he'll be back pretty darn quick if you're a Tampa fan. Surprise, Ryan Poehling sent to the American Hockey League by the Montreal Canadiens after his tremendous first game last year. There was an expectation he would play this year. Nick Suzuki pushed some guys out of jobs. I'll just go ahead and just blame Suzuki every time somebody gets cut out of that lineup. But Suzuki had a great preseason. He really did. Jim Rutherford is a big fan of John Marino, apparently, gushing about how much he likes Marino and why he traded for him during the summer and how he's loved everything he's seen of him in camp. This kid, 22 years of age, this is a diamond in the rough for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they needed that on the blue line. They desperately needed that. Just for news sake, Jack Johnson still a Penguin, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Because the rosters are set now, and we'll see. We'll see if Jack Johnson's still a Penguin come opening night, which is tomorrow. I don't see any reason why he won't be. Because I can't figure out which team would have that cap space that wouldn't also say, well, give us a first. If we're going to take that contract off your hands, you got to give us a first rounder. All right. Buffalo news. There's no timetable for the return of Zach Bogosian, and Brandon Montour's a few weeks away. So that new defense that Sabres fans are excited about, it's going to get tested. It is going to get tested big. Also, assistant coach Don Granato is in the hospital with pneumonia. Wish him a happy and quick recovery. So, of course, his brother was Tony Granato. His sister's Cami Granato. So, nice American family there who are all still in the NHL. I wish Don a speedy recovery from that. Pneumonia is one of those tricky things. I've known people get it, and they're fine like a week later, and then in this case, if he's been hospitalized, it's not one of those ones that's easy to get rid of. But lots of fluids, and he'll be in good hands. Calgary kind of surprised me in sending Dylan Dubé to the AHL, but they kind of telegraphed this. I was going to say telegraphed this. Dubé didn't have a great preseason, and they wanted him to. And the coach was pretty clear that he wanted more out of Dubé, and clearly didn't get it. So Dubé goes to the American League, and Andrew McDonald's been released from his professional tryout. So McDonald's career could very well be over. A lot of these guys get released, and this is, and I've said this, I'm saying it again. The new NHL, if you're a veteran player and you don't get signed early in July, you may very well be looking at the end of your career, and you may have played a decent season the year before. You may have had a down year the year before. Maybe you're willing to work for league minimum, but there just isn't a job there for you. As more and more kids make rosters, it squeezes more and more veterans out. The game's getting faster. There's already speculation on how much more offense we might see this year. It's just that's how it works. Michael Haley's won a job on the New York Rangers roster. Good for him. He's some toughness and sandpaper on a team that, they could use that while they're going through this retool. I don't necessarily see the Rangers as a team that's going into the playoffs. I think the fact that Kravtsov and Hedl got sent down tells you there's still some time before the Rangers are going to get back into the mix. And I think the Rangers realize that. But we'll see, because with the expectations being raised, adding Trouba on that blue line, and also the addition of Panarin up front, of course, is the big one that everybody's going to gravitate around. The one thing that I look at is I say, well, yeah, but they also lost Zuccarello at the deadline. He was an offensive guy, so how much more offense did they actually pick up right now from what they had last year on opening day? So that's for me where things are a little bit muddy, but we'll see, because the Metro is really, really wide open. A lot of parity in that division especially. But there you go. You guys are all caught up on today's news so far. We're not done with today's news. I also have to do my NFL power rankings this morning, so wish me luck with that, because those usually, I find they're actually kind of more contentious than the NHL power rankings to some extent. But hey, those are fun too. Let me know your thoughts, as always, regarding any of these items on the board. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And thank you guys so much for all your support in helping this channel's growth. And the regular season starts tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.